And this is episode 2 of The Long Haul. It's October the 30th, 2020, Halloween Eve. It's also the anniversary of something kind of important in radio history. If you'll indulge me for a minute, I'm a radio nerd. I actually worked in the business for about 18 years, and one of the things that actually got me interested in that was the 1938 War of the Worlds broadcast by Orson Welles in the Mercury Theater on the Air. Was not a reading of the book that its author H.G. Wells, no relation to Orson Welles. They spelled their names differently, but H.G. Wells thought they were just going to be reading the book on the air. No, they scripted it in such a way that it was contemporary, not in the 19th century, and it was news reports breaking into regular programming of a Martian invasion in Grover's Mill, New Jersey, as opposed to in England, which is where it was originally set. For those of you of the sci-fi nerdiness, Grover's Mill, New Jersey, they mentioned that in the cult classic, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. That's when the red Lectroids came over. So, a little bit of nerdiness for me, because I'm a nerd. Anyways, so here we are, week 2 of me doing this. Like I said, episode 2 of The Long Haul. Chest is tight. It hasn't been too bad today. Wednesday was bad. We were really short-handed at work, and I was having to do a lot more than I normally did, and there were points when I really felt like I was going to probably have to go to the ER. I didn't. I probably should have. But, you know, I wound up in the ER back in July, on July 20th, and why go through that again? Why have the battery of tests run when it's just going to come back normal again? Because that's what happened last time. Every test I have had during the course of all this has been normal. So, yeah, subjecting myself to all that when really there isn't going to be any new answers, it just didn't make any sense to me. So, no real change. Although, I'll be honest, there are days I feel like I'm destroying myself just going to work every day. But hey, we're in a capitalistic society. Your worth is based solely on your labor or whatever you can contribute, and if I don't work, we're screwed. So, one of those catch-22, damned if you do, damned if you don't situations. So, like I said, no choice. Do what you have to do. So it's October 30th, meaning tomorrow is Halloween. My favorite holiday. I love Halloween. I even have the Halloween mask today, since costumes in a warehouse are not really a smart idea. I've never done it. I've never been crazy enough to try that. If I wore my Ghostbuster uniform, it would get ruined. I'm sure of it. I mean, that place is dirty. It's one of the only things I like about having to wear a work uniform is I don't have to wash my dirty clothes from being at work, because that would be nasty. There's a lot of stuff in the air, which, now that I think about it, might not be helping me in the lung category too much. But so, if you'll indulge me, again, you indulge my nerdiness, and I'm asking you to indulge me in a bit of a rant. Halloween, it's on a Saturday. The next day is, the start of standard time, so we fall back, we get an extra hour, and it's another full moon, our second full moon of the month, so it's a blue moon. So, full moon on Halloween, and you get an extra hour. How did we mess this up? I mean, we still can't do any gatherings because of the pandemic. I'm pretty sure trick-or-treating is being curtailed most places, and if it's not, then those city leaders really really need to rethink themselves, because that's just not safe for anybody. But no, we've had since March, folks. That's when everything started to shut down. And people didn't want to do it. People don't want to wear masks in public. You deal with anti-maskers everywhere. I haven't seen any where I live in Gilroy, California. I haven't seen any of those recently. But there have been people protesting masks, saying, oh, don't live in fear. No, shut up, live in fear. This is not something you want. I mean, you could say the same thing about wearing a seatbelt. Oh, don't be afraid of a car accident. Don't live in fear. Take your seatbelt off. No. Yeah, I'd like to stay alive, thank you. But, you know, people had to have their 4th of July parties, their Mother's Day parties, Father's Day parties, Memorial Day, Labor Day, people gathering in large groups, people who have not been isolated together. And that's when you get outbreaks. And we could have had Halloween, but we don't. Some friends of mine, they do a Halloween party every year. There was no question they were going to cancel it. No question. And while it was disappointing, we understood. Everybody understood. Cancel this year so we can all be together next year and celebrate. That's how it works. Same thing with the New Year's party they do every year. Again, no question that it was going to be canceled. They may decide to set up a live streaming thing for midnight, but that's something you can do virtually and still safely. Just bringing this up really quickly, 2 friends of mine got married last month, and they live streamed the ceremony, and they did the reception virtually. So even though we couldn't be there in person to celebrate with our friends, we still got to be there. You know, yeah, it was through a computer screen, but it's better than nothing. You know, we still got to see our friends take that step and celebrate with them, even though we couldn't be there in person. We all got to make sacrifices here, you know. We've lost over 230,000 people here in the United States. And I'm pretty sure most of them, had we been smarter about this, would still be here. Kind of a morbid thought, you know. But hey, tomorrow is Halloween, you know, the day when the veil separating the world of the living and the realm of the dead is at its thinnest. And honestly, I'm kind of in a morbid mood lately. But that, unfortunately, is the life of a long hauler. So, be safe out there, everyone. Wash your hands, socially distance, wear your mask. Happy Halloween.